Hi everyone, I'm Heina, the Marketing Director for Asia. Today, I'm excited to share with you the culture trends leading to Asian languages becoming the fastest growing language on Duolingo. And then, my colleague Selena will take the stage to share the innovative features we've developed to meet the learners' needs. Last year, my friends and I organized a karaoke night. After a few songs, they queued up a K-pop song by Blackpink, my personal favorite. I've listened to their music for hours at a time, and I know most of their songs by heart. But here's the catch. I couldn't sing along because my Korean was too basic at that time. As the music began, I just feel like the word stuck in my throat. Have you ever felt this way? Learning language isn't just about perfecting your grammar or memorizing words. It's about immersing yourself into the cultures too. Imagine watching a Japanese manga. You don't want to misunderstand any plot points. Or if you are binge watching a Korean drama, you don't want to get lost in the translations. Or maybe when you eat at a Chinese restaurant, you start thinking how fun it would be to travel to China, eat a dinner in China someday. All these moments lead to a simple but powerful desire. I want to learn this language. Let's take a look how Duolingo fulfill these desires. In the past 3 years, the number of learners learning Japanese on Duolingo have increased 120%, and majority of them are under 30. As you know, the Japanese manga and anime have gained significant popularities among young generations. I'm sure some of you watching Duocon right now are also big fans of Naruto, Dragon Ball, or Attack on Titan. To tap into this fandom, we collaborated with Crunchyroll to bring the popular Japanese anime phrases into our course content. And we also brought Duo and Hime together into one universe. Let's take a look. Now, let's travel to Korea. Over the past 3 years, the number of learners learning Korea on Duolingo have increased 195%. K-pop and K-drama are taking over our televisions. After the premiere of the Squid Game, we noticed something interesting happen to our Korean course. There is a clear bump of the number of learners learning Korea. Popular K-pop groups also had massive fan base. Their concert tickets were sold out in seconds. And the diehard BTS fans also want to go deeper with the band. As one learner said, I want to understand their songs without needing translation. Duo also want to have fun. So we brought him to the Blackpink concert in Vietnam this year. This is a perfect moment to inspire people start their Korean language journey. Lastly, let's look at Chinese. We currently have 6.9 million learners on Duolingo studying Mandarin. China has a rich cultural heritage spanning thousands of years. It's also a popular travel destination attracting people to its landmark like the Great Wall and the Forbidden City. See, Duo also went to the Great Wall. Classic Chinese dishes like the dim sum or dumplings are also foodies' favorite. We might not be crazy rich Asians, but we are rich in languages. The languages that bridges the culture and connect the passions. Because the interest in these languages continue to grow, at Duolingo, we work tirelessly to develop the innovative features to meet the learners' needs. Up next, you'll hear Selena, a software engineer, talk about the latest updates about our Chinese and Japanese courses. Thank you.
Thanks, Heina. Hey everyone, I'm Selena. I'm a software engineer here at Duolingo, and I'm excited to share with you some of the features my team has been working on for Chinese and Japanese learners. Let's get started with Chinese. Let's say you're new to Chinese, or maybe you've learned it before, but you've been away from it for a little while. You come across this sentence, but you don't know how to pronounce it. What can you do? Well, one thing you can do in this situation is consult something called pinyin, which would tell you that this says, 我用多邻国学拼音. That is, I use Duolingo to learn pinyin. As you can see, pinyin is a way to write Chinese pronunciations using familiar Latin letters. It's really helpful for learning the pronunciations of characters you don't know yet, something that probably happens a lot if you're learning Chinese, since there are thousands of characters, each with a pronunciation that you have to memorize. In fact, even many native speakers learn pinyin when they're first learning how to read. Also, pinyin is a really popular way of typing Chinese, so learning pinyin means you'll be able to type Chinese on a familiar Latin alphabet keyboard. However, reading pinyin isn't quite as simple as just reading the letters, at least not with the pronunciations you might be familiar with. For example, in this sentence, the X in 学 makes the sh sound, which doesn't exist in English. Pinyin also uses accent marks to indicate tones, another feature that's somewhat unique to Chinese. So to help you get familiar with pinyin and all its unique features, as well as help you learn the fundamentals of Chinese pronunciation, we've added a new dedicated feature to the app. This chart lives in a new tab in the Chinese course. You can tap on the tiles on the chart to hear the sounds that the letters make. As you complete lessons, the progress bars on the tiles will fill and the tiles will light up. You can start lessons from the big blue button at the top of the chart. When you tap on it, you'll get handcrafted tips and bite-sized lessons that will help you learn and practice reading pinyin. When we introduce new information, we'll start with some useful tips for pronouncing and distinguishing any unfamiliar sounds. Then you'll get to put what you learned into practice in these handcrafted lessons. When we introduce a new character to you in your lessons on the Duolingo path, we'll use pinyin first to show you how they're pronounced. So, learning how to read and pronounce pinyin will be a great stepping stone towards learning Chinese characters. Speaking of Chinese characters, let's talk a bit about them now. Chinese characters are used in both Japanese, where they're called kanji, and Chinese, where they're called hanzi. Learning them is one of the most challenging parts of learning either of these languages. For one, there are thousands of characters in common use in each language. They represent meanings rather than pronunciations, so you'll have to memorize a pronunciation for each one, and many of them may have the same pronunciation. Especially in Japanese, a character may also have multiple different pronunciations depending on context. These characters also tend to be much more visually complex than letters in other writing systems, so there's more to remember there as well. If that all sounds kind of intimidating to you, then rest assured you're not alone. We know learners have been asking for more and better ways to learn and practice these characters for a long time, so I'm really excited to share with you this next new feature we've been working on. Introducing Hanzi and Kanji practice. For Chinese learners, you'll find this in the same tab as the pinyin lessons we just talked about. For Japanese learners, they're in the same place as your hiragana and katakana chart lessons. On this tab, you'll find a chart similar to what we have for pinyin and kana. However, Chinese characters work a little differently from those other writing systems, so the chart does as well. For one, you'll find the characters organized according to the path unit that they appear in, and as you learn new characters in your path lessons, they'll unlock in this chart. Like on the other character learning tabs, the tiles will also fill up with progress and light up as you complete lessons in the tab. Finally, if you tap on a character, you'll see an animation of how to write it, as well as a list of all the words you've learned in the path that use that character. We've designed the lessons in this tab to cover all the different aspects of a character. These feature exercises that are tailored to help you remember each character's shape, pronunciation, and meaning. You'll see some exercises that will be familiar from the path, as well as some shiny new ones we've designed specifically for practicing these characters. First, we have these handwriting exercises. In these exercises, you'll write the character on your screen with your finger or your mouse. As you become more familiar with the shape of the character, the exercises will become harder. For example, you'll build up from tracing a character a component at a time to tracing the whole thing. You'll also move from tracing the character to writing the entire character from memory. These exercises help you engage with the shape of the character by breaking them down component by component and stroke by stroke. Another exercise type that helps with this are these puzzle exercises. These are designed to show you how characters break apart into different components. As you puzzle together different characters, you'll gain an intuition for how they break down into components and how different components can be mixed and matched to create characters with similar sounds or meanings. Just like the writing exercises, these will get harder as you get more familiar with the characters. You'll start by just putting together the components of one character and move on to picking out the correct components from a pool of components that make similar characters. At this point, you may be wondering, hey, how can I get my hands on these cool new features? Well, if you're looking to tone up your Chinese pronunciation skills, pinyin lessons are available now on iOS and Android and coming soon on web. If you're looking to build some characters, kanji lessons for Japanese learners are available on iOS and Android and coming soon on web. Hanzi lessons for Chinese learners are coming soon on all platforms. We hope you'll incorporate these features into your Duolingo routine and really level up your reading skills. Happy learning! 谢谢大家! ご清聴ありがとうございました. And thanks for listening.